You know, in the CCSO, everyone's got an opinion on which team is the best. But what happens when you push all that aside and just look at the cold, hard data? That's what we're doing today. We're going to let the numbers do all the talking in a deep dive on one of the league's most successful teams, the Bashers.
So let's just ask the big question right up front, the one that starts all the arguments. Looking strictly at the stats, who really is the most dominant team in the CCO? Well, a lot of teams might have a case, but the Bashers' numbers, they're pretty hard to argue with. Let's see if the data backs it up.
Okay, let's kick things off with the one number that really matters, right? Trophies, championships. And for the Bashers, that number is a big one, 5. Just that number alone puts them in some seriously elite company.
And get this, it's not like they just dominate one style of play. Look at how it breaks down. 2 BBL titles, 2 reboot trophies, and a test championship on top of that. That's not just winning, folks. That's winning across the board, in totally different formats. That kind of versatility is incredibly rare.
So you're probably wondering, how did they rack up all that hardware? Well, it all starts with an offense that is just electric. So let's pull back the curtain and look at the key players who are the engine behind their powerful batting.
And right at the center of that storm, you've got the run machine himself, Mickey Gall. I mean, his stats, they don't just look good on paper. They paint a picture of just relentless, nonstop pressure on the other team.
Just look at these numbers. We're talking nearly 1,000 runs, a batting average sitting pretty over 30, and 2 big centuries. That is the kind of consistent, top-tier production that you build a championship team around. But, you know, there's one stat here that tells the real story of how this team plays. And boom, there it is, 172.1. That strike rate, that's not just a number, that's their entire DNA. It's about scoring, sure, but it's about scoring so fast that the other team doesn't even know what hit him. It's pure aggression.
And if you thought Gall was a headache for opposing teams, get ready for this guy. The Bashers' wicketkeeper, Aaron Jones, basically takes that same aggressive mindset and cranks it up to 11. He is, statistically speaking, an absolute powerhouse.
I mean, seriously, a batting average over 38? That's incredible all on its own. But then you pair it with a strike rate of nearly 177? That's just insane. That blend of consistency and pure, raw power makes him one of the most dangerous hitters in the league, period.
Okay, so their batting is completely off the charts. But you don't win 5 championships by just being a bunch of sluggers. No, their success is equally built on a bowling attack that is just plain scary.
Just take a look at this trio. You've got Benjamin Trees leading the pack with a massive 76 wickets, then Greg Inglis right behind him with 66, and Aiden Hutch with 60. To have 3 guys performing at this level on the same team, that's almost unfair. There's just no escape for the batsmen.
Yeah, when you add it all up, that's over 200 wickets right there. This isn't just a good group of bowlers. They are the absolute backbone of this team's defense, a statistical wall that can shut down pretty much any offense out there.
And at the very top of that food chain, the apex predator, you could say, is Benjamin Trees. His individual numbers are, frankly, on another planet.
Okay, let's really soak this in. A bowling average of 6.97. Do you know how hard that is to do? It means he gives up practically nothing for every single wicket he takes. That kind of efficiency is what separates the really good players from the truly elite ones.
And it all leads back to this number right here, 76. 76 wickets. That's not just the most on the team. That number puts him right up there in the conversation with some of the best bowlers in the history of the CCO.
All right, so we've got the firepower on offense and a lockdown defense, the 2 key ingredients. But when does it all come together? Where do they really shine? Let's dig into their tournament performances to see when they really flip the switch to become so dangerous.
And this is where the picture gets crystal clear. Look at the T20 formats, the BBL and the Reboot Cup. 4 trophies, and they've won both back-to-back. They are basically the kings of the short game. But then you look at the longer 50-over Duality Cup, 0 trophies. The numbers don't lie. This team is built for speed and high-pressure moments.
And check out this timeline. This isn't just a flash in the pan. This team builds dynasties. They win the BBL back-to-back in the early seasons, claim a test championship, and now they're doing the exact same thing in the Reboot Cup. That's sustained dominance over years.
And if you need one single stat to absolutely prove it, here you go. A 60% win rate in the BBL. Think about that for a second. In the league's toughest, fastest competition, they win 6 out of every 10 games they play. That is why they're the team everyone's always chasing.
Okay, so we've crunched the numbers on the championships, the batting stars, the killer bowlers, and where they dominate most. It's time to put all the puzzle pieces together and give a final verdict on the Bashers, based purely on the data.
So, what's the secret sauce? What's the Bashers winning formula? Well, it's pretty clear, isn't it? You start with a history of winning championships, you mix in some absolutely explosive batting with strike rates that are consistently over 170, you add a bowling trio that's practically unbreakable, and you specialize in the fast-paced T20 game. That's the recipe.
You know, if you had to boil this whole analysis down to one single sentence, this would be it. They're a dynasty built on two things: hitting the ball incredibly hard and fast, and a bowling attack that just never, ever lets up. Simple and brutally effective.
And all of this leaves us with one last big question to think about. When you look at this statistical profile, this repeatable, proven formula for winning, especially in today's T20 world, you have to ask yourself, are the Bashers just another great team? Or have they actually written the blueprint for how to build a champion in the modern CCO? The numbers, well, they make a pretty powerful argument.